According to internet folklore, the Marianas Web is a mysterious region of the internet available to only a select few. It is allegedly so structurally complex that it has become a hotbed of grotesque and illicit activities, because users cannot be tracked. Some say that its impenetrable security means that most state secrets are stored here, from the location of Atlantis and the Holy Grail to the untold histories of the Vatican. Others argue that it is now the favored communication network for the Illuminati. But is there any truth in these allegations? The deep web describes the parts of the internet that are not indexed by search engines like Google. These secretive pages account for an astonishing 96% of the World Wide Web. Deep web activity is extremely hard to trace. Unsurprisingly, this means much of it is dedicated to illegal activities including sex crimes, child slavery, and international drug dealing. A 2016 study by the University of Norwich estimated that over $100 million is generated on the deep web every year. Yet, the Marianas Web requires delving even further into the internet's dark possibilities. Named after the darkest and deepest part of the ocean, the Marianas Trench, the term denotes a mysterious region of the web, and according to popular internet culture, it harbors evil. Its advocates claim that it is the fifth of the legendary 8 levels of the internet. Levels 0 to 2 cover websites that are accessible using a conventional web browser. Levels 3 and 4 are currently accessible through deep web browsers like Tor. But Level 5 requires a network of quantum computers with software architecture that can store and process information on artificially modified photons. Quantum computers allow particles to exist in 2 states simultaneously. This structural instability means that the Marianas Web would be impossible for hackers to penetrate. Given the horrifying depths of the existing deep web, the possibilities opened by Marianas Web are chilling to consider. Some online bloggers like Karine Benji have long thought the so-called shell web may unlock the secrets of Marianas Web. The shell web allegedly consists of closed-shell systems which have the web address extension .clos. Since they are all LAN connections, it is impossible to track what goes on without manual access. The Marianas Web could theoretically be run on a system like this. In 2014, the Washington Post reported the NSA is currently developing a quantum computer. Disturbingly, their evidence suggests this device could crack all algorithms, effectively controlling all levels of the internet through automated hacking. The quantum computer dossier comes from documents leaked by NSA whistleblower Edward Snowden. These documents reveal the project is being funded by the government operation called Penetrating Hard Targets. To date, Washington has funneled over $79 million into the project. Importantly, these developments show that despite the risks posed by the Marianas Web, the hardware it requires does not yet exist. In 2014, Professor Ian Walmsley from the University of Oxford said that it is a real possibility, but it is not going to happen next week. Therefore, any risks the Marianas Web might pose are entirely hypothetical. Indeed, it is almost impossible to trace individuals and their activities over the current deep web. Given this, is there enough incentive to spend millions developing an alternative browser? It is also interesting to note that the history of the idea is unknown. Most of what is said about Marianas Web comes from forum-based hypothesizing. Many technology bloggers say speculation on the topic is pointless until technology exists that could make it a reality. It also seems unlikely that there are any more than about 3 levels of the internet. One level is the normal web as we use it, then there is the deep web and its dark corners, and the third is a layer of servers and maintenance networks. Simply put, the Marianas Web is too deep to exist. It is certain that the advent of quantum computers will open new opportunities for the internet, perhaps even the so-called Marianas Web. However, given the enormous costs in developing this technology and the corresponding hardware, it is unlikely that it will ever have a user base large enough to become the darkest place on the web. Furthermore, the Washington Post's leaked revelations show that suspicions about Marianas Web already existing are simply wrong. So while it may one day be the darkest place on the internet, it is still far too early to speculate. The deep web is a dark and mysterious place for the majority of internet users. Hidden from the prying eyes of governments, companies, and security agencies, a whole host of illicit activities can be found deep beneath the surface of conventional search engines.